This is Storm Team 4 Senior Weather Producer Steve Sosna back at it again, tracking a storm that I think is going to give us a headache before all is said and done.
I have the headache already.
Yeah. So right now you can see we're in fine shape on this election day. Get out and vote. Just clear skies, just some high clouds. It's cold. And here's the storm sitting off to the south of us now, and you can start to see that little piece of energy right in here, Steve. That's the thing that's going to kick into this storm and then probably turn it up the coast in the next 24 hours or so.
That's right. That's the fuel for this storm system that will be riding up the coast. The exact track, of course, is the million-dollar question, and will play a role in our impacts. One could be wind.
Right, we have a high wind watch in effect for tomorrow. Gusts of 50, 60 may be pushing it. Best chance for these gusts will be mainly up against the coast. Inland, I don't think quite as bad. And again, if the storm shifts a little further east, less of a chance of seeing wind gusts like that. But we do have a lot of trees that are compromised out there from Sandy, so still could be some power outages due to that. Also, we have this.
The coastal flood watch is in effect for tomorrow, and especially for the afternoon high tide cycles. That's when the waves and also the surge will be at the most, looking at maybe 3 to 4 feet. Now, if you remember the Sandy surge, that was 8 to 12 feet, so not quite at those levels, but we know with the wind coming in and the beaches, how they've changed, obviously a threat and a concern, and we'll be tracking that through this afternoon and into tomorrow.
All right, it looks like tomorrow during the day, maybe early evening, that's when we're going to have that kind of wind direction, east-northeast wind, but then it probably goes back towards the north. So let's get a look at some of the computer models that we obviously always rely on for something like this. The European model, we relied heavily on that, obviously, during Sandy. So let's move forward in time. What is it showing us, Steve?
As you can see, the Euro tries to bring the rain up the coastline, but a change from yesterday, it's a little bit further offshore. The good news, that would lessen the wind. Bad news, we have a different threat in there now. Snow, even for central New Jersey and the city. I know, it sounds odd, we haven't been talking about it, but the first real good chance of snow in the city for tomorrow evening.
And again, because of a further eastern track for the storm, it's allowing some colder air to stay in place here instead of getting the warmer ocean air involved. So we're going to be sitting on the fence probably in the city with that on and off for a little while. Also, let's move forward now to the other model we use, the US model, the GFS as we call it. Again, also kind of a different track compared to the Euro on this one.
The difference is that you are seeing this morning are offshore. It's that word track. You're going to be hearing a lot of that over the next 12 hours or so. The track further offshore allows the cold air to stay in place. It doesn't allow those milder ocean temperatures in the 50s to work onshore. That would change everything to rain. So even for areas close to the coast with that track further offshore, we could be looking at snow right down to the beaches of part of New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine, but the cold air really is entrenched this morning. We're dealing with a cool, dry air mass. You throw that kind of moisture in quickly enough, the two could come together and have a little party. And here, these are futurecast temperatures now. This is through this evening. We're in the 30s, probably above freezing in the city overnight. But now, this is noon tomorrow. That's not bad at 40, but watch what happens. The precipitation falls. Look what happens to the temperatures.
And the problem is that is during the evening commute. Some of the heaviest snow during the storm will be during the rush hour. So 6 o'clock, you see temperatures below freezing. You have to remember that the snow will be coming down at a good rate. So that means even some of the sidewalks could get a little bit slushy, especially western suburbs. Garden State Parkway on west, that's where we could see maybe a few inches of sloppy wet snow.
You know, and again, we're talking about first the wind is a threat, maybe taking down some weakened tree limbs and things like that and power lines. But now the weight of a heavy wet snow, that could turn out to be another concern. We all remember last October what happened. So kind of a double whammy going on here. Let's look at some of the other impacts, though, especially up against the coast initially.
That's right. The coastal flooding, we showed you the coastal flood watches. That's because minor to moderate flooding, especially tomorrow afternoon's high tides, give it an hour or two for the back bays, and some 8 to 10 foot waves will be breaking onshore. The beaches eroded. That could cause some minor structural damages in some places.
Right, a lot of the dunes already worn away from Sandy, so they're certainly more susceptible now to be flooded a little bit faster with 8 to 10 foot waves. The accumulating snow threats there, a few slushy inches again, best chance for northern central New Jersey and the city, and wind gusts of 50 miles per hour or possible. And this is how it breaks down tomorrow evening.
Definitely looking at snow city on west, messy mix for Long Island, and rain eastern.
Now again, a track further east, you could take all of these lines here and then push them further east, meaning the snow could actually work its way into Long Island. A track that's closer to the coast, you could then take all of this and push the rain further inland, perhaps, and the snow a little further north and west. So the jury's still out a little bit. This is not a definitive forecast yet, but let's get a look at the 7 days real quick. Again, nice today, stormy tomorrow, into part of Thursday, should quiet down Thursday night, and then Friday to the weekend looking good with a warming trend. What, by the time we get to Sunday, 6, it's going to seem nice.
Oh, that's going to be so nice. And 11 a.m. is the next computer run update. We'll try to update you here on the web.
We'll have for you.